Hello everybody, my name is Virusaliterable and I am back to bring you guys another video. Today we're going to be looking at Windows Longhorn Milestone 6 and 7 build for 2442 and then 4074. So this is going to be an amazing little ride. We're going to have two builds in one video. Let's take a look at the first one, which is going to be Windows 40 and 42. This is a Lab 06 build, so we got a little bit of a couple of UI changes. You guys are going to kind of notice it. Nothing really in the startup. As you can see, kind of we got some little gray background with the actual Windows flag on it. Something that gives us a little treat that Microsoft was alluding to. Oh, very wonderful error. We get the vote now error. I don't know how to get rid of it. I tried getting vote now to work, but I never really got it to get its feet up and cooperate with us, so we're gonna have to deal with no little error. We're gonna have to deal with that error every time we start up. Here's the new build. We got a new background, looking very, very nice, but it's kind of missing our start button and our taskbar. I'm not really sure why, but we lost it. I had to actually run everything through Windows through Task Manager and try and get everything back up. Well, the show must go on. We must continue. As you can see, the UI changes look really nice. They got nice little gray borders. The icons in the upper right-hand corner where you deal with minimize, maximize, and closing the program actually have changed. They now have little icons, little backgrounds around them, little squares, instead of the actual kind of like XP kind of style things where they're kind of separated. They're kind of all lumped in together. It's tinier squares, and it's really taking shape into like the Windows 7, Windows 10-ish kind of look. It looks really nice. Just to give you some little factors on this build was compiled based on the BIOS date on September 10th, 2003. Still very, very early on in the development of Windows Longhorn. And of course, as we all know, before the reset, this is really, really cool that we get to see some of these builds showing up. And we can kind of see exactly kind of what Microsoft wanted to do with this build. And as you can see, the UI changes are more like it's trying to go for that sleeker. I mean, like the MacBooks were like grayish back in that. I think that's when Apple started bringing out like those grayish MacBooks, and it was kind of like all the futuristic craze, and they were kind of making it a little bit more appealing to the home audience. It looks really nice. I'm not complaining. It looks like a regular theme that you could probably put on like a Windows XP kind of machine. And as you can see, this kind of, the actual like Windows Explorer looks a lot like IE, like 7 and 8. It's like the way the icons are kind of laid out and what it looks like, it screams IE 7 and 8. I don't know. Here's give me some opinions in the comments and let me know if you guys agree with me. We still got the same backgrounds, nothing really new. A nice little screensaver with Windows Longhorn Silver Edition. Very nice. Everything is still kind of in the Plex style, which is the setup. But Windows is not in Plex anymore. It's actually called Slate, this theme, and this will be the new theme that's going to be featured in the next builds up until the reset, where they're going to redesign the code base and then get something new on here. So we got the new wallpaper, as we can see, and if you kind of notice, I don't know if you guys saw me when I opened up the actual not the control panel, but like the start menu. You can kind of see in my documents, my computer, the My has been taken out, which is kind of a little thing. I wonder if it was like intentional or if it was kind of like something like little buggish. It could be intentional. I can't really tell. In Control Panel, there's like a new, we're going to get to it right now. There's a new application called New Task Scheduler. So we're going to try and look at that real quick. There it is right there. It has a little clock with a folder on it, New Task Scheduler. We also have something called Sync Manager here, and as you can see, we have the parental controls. The icons still kind of look the same. They're not anything different from the Windows XP kind of style. Everything else looks exactly the same. Nothing too different, just a couple of the themes changing and a couple of under the hood kind of things. There are some included applications with this build. There is Windows application, there's a Windows Media Player 9, Windows Messenger, which remains unchanged. The UI looks pretty similar to the previous build and to how it looks now. And Outlook Express did get a tiny UI change, but it was mostly to actually accommodate the actual Slate theme for the build, so it just looks a little bit different. And we do have some themes. We only have Slate, XP Luna, and Windows Classic, but nothing really else. It's kind of more of a bare bones kind of build. Like I said, it was more of a lab build that they used. And of course, we do have Vote Now on this machine, but every time you start up the computer or you try to run it, it crashes. Not sure why, but it crashes. Let's take a look. Activate Windows has no icon and it doesn't work. Here we have a couple of things. Paint still looks the same. Nothing really different about Paint, just that the little tiny UI changes for the actual thing. Games, we still have our your average games. We have 3D Pinball, Space Cadets. Anyone remember playing this all the time with nothing? Oh my god, it is so laggy. I don't know if I could play this. Let's just play a little quick round. Let's like tilt the machine. Let's go. Play one quick little round. Let's go. I think I actually cut this one because I played for too long. You guys would be surprised how much I'd get distracted from these videos. Sometimes I kind of, especially with this, sometimes I just kind of forget that I'm actually making a video and I actually get really into the game. As you can see, you guys will probably see the cut in like a couple seconds. You guys can see me cut. You're going to see my score jump up to like a really high score because I actually got really high and I didn't lose any balls like for a while. And I was just like, yeah. And then I realized this in post-production. I'm like, I should probably stop playing this. I got a video to do. Anyways, other than that, nothing really has changed. Your little icon for your user, it looks like the Windows Messenger icon when you don't have anything. Windows Movie Maker cannot be used because your hardware cannot support it. I love it. And here's Windows Media Player 9. We're going to see it. It still looks really nice in all of its little Windows Media Player 9 glory. Nothing too different about it. Everything, functionality looks the same. I don't have an internet adapter on this thing, so I'm not going to pick up any of these stations. Doesn't that? Oh, look, I'm going to change it to some of that style. I also remember having Windows Media Player in this style. I kind of forgot how to change it back. So we're going to be stuck seeing Windows Media Player like that. Nothing too much, though. That's really about it I have for this build. I'm going to show you guys what it looks like, the actual login screen. Looks really quick. Like I said, I don't have much for this build. Really, there isn't really much to look at. We're gonna try and get the WinWeb Easy bug. I think this might have been just an internal service for just the internal employees. They might have had a server that pointed there, and that's it. As you can see, they remove documents, but they have my documents. They remove photos. They removed all that instead of having the my in front of it. Alright guys, that's all I really got on this build. Let's go ahead and move on to build 4074. That's really about it for 4042. So I'm going to see you guys on the flip side. And we're back, guys. Let's go ahead and take a look at Longhorn 4074. Alright, now you're going to notice some big changes in this one. This might be a little bit more different than the last one. This is definitely going to be different. It's actually one of the more famous builds for of this series. It's also known as WinHEC 2004 build because it was actually distributed at WinHEC 2004. This is going to be jumping up a new stage, Milestone 7. It's still going to feature the slate theme, and we still kind of have the new we still have the same login screen, but we're actually going to have some new wallpapers and explore windows. It's going to be really cool. Also, the notifications are going to change a little slightly. As you can see, oh my god, it looks absolutely different. It looks like a completely new operating system. That's amazing. As you can see, the slate theme is still there. There's still a couple of Windows XP icons, but as you can see, look at Recycle Bin. Recycle Bin got the best glow up of 2020. It looks amazing. I love it. Love it. Start menu looks way different, and then there's, oh my gosh, look at all of the beautiful little icons. Very different, very nice. It's starting to take that shape. You can definitely see some of the Vista and Windows 7 inspired icons starting to pop up here. It looks absolutely beautiful, and it's like the best eye candy. I can pretty much give it to it. Give you a little bit of information on when this has been compiled. This is actually a way older build. This was done on April 26th, 2004. That's when it was compiled based on its BIOS date. So we have this. We also have a 32-bit and a 64-bit version. Right now I'm only running the 32-bit version just for testing purposes and for stability's sake, and I just didn't have access to the 64-bit. It's no worry though. We have a lot of cosmetic changes going on in here. The notifications, if you have noticed any notifications, they've been changed slightly to include a rules and alerts center, which is really cool, kind of more of a centralized place to see all of your notifications. That sounds very familiar, doesn't it? Well, if you have Windows 10, then you remember that little place where you get all of your notifications. Isn't that amazing? A centralized place to see all your notifications? Isn't that cool? I'm telling you, Microsoft was ahead of their time on this. I mean, there's just so much that you can unpack from this, and so many things that they had to put in that, man, oh man. Oh, and then I'm being a dum-dum, and I completely didn't know how to actually open up, like, the sensitive files and folders. I completely missed the show contents of this folder onto the left side of the screen. Ignore that. So with the previous version, there's desktop applications, and some Explorer windows are not included, including the sidebar. Really nice. Other than that, there's nothing too much to really go upon. You guys might have some little problems with this build, at least for this one, for the 32-bit version, if you guys do have it. In the Windows pre-installation environment, it doesn't support the mouse, so you're going to probably have to use the keyboard with the tab and space. Personally, I didn't have to deal with that. I'm not sure if you guys are going to have that, but if your mouse does not work when you guys try and download this build, then I would suggest going ahead and using your tab and using your keyboard. Don't worry too much about it. We got some new icons. We got help and support, and we got search. Man, oh man. Really cool that it looks a little bit different. This time it's not called Slate, this is called Jade. And I think some of these actually made an appearance in Windows Vista, if I'm not... Well, I'm pretty certain it did. But, you'll see. Look at that, completely revamped. Everything else looks really the same. None of the programs have actually been updated. It's really more of a cosmetic look. The clock has changed. It looks a lot more modern. Windows Messenger looks exactly the same. There's nothing really to it. And man, it just looks really aesthetically pleasing. I really, really love it. It's a great little build that we got over here, and I have a long pause over here because I was trying to look up some things for this build. But we do have a very, very large amount of eye candy that we get to look at in this build. There's really not much in the changes of, like, you know, let's say under the hood kind of things for this build. It's more of, hey, look at Microsoft doing some amazing things. Oh, I just locked Explorer. Oh boy. Oh, look at me. I'm trying to be a trooper and install VMware tools, and I kind of crashed the system for it. Let's see what happens when I try and do that. It's because I was trying to get some new drivers into it. Setup cannot continue. I was trying to get some new drivers on it for it to work, but to no avail. Look at the little cool pictures that it has for the calendar. Yo, it never had any of that. I'm gonna enable all of the little taskbars so you guys can kind of see what it looks like. Again, that is really, really cool to have all your little notifications there that see people nearby you. Again, those features are still we still see those features today in Windows 10. That's astonishing that some of those features that were made here in Windows Longhorn back in 2004. 2004. Almost, if I'm, correct my math if I'm wrong. That's almost 16 years. 16 years, can you believe it? My gosh, I can't fathom that. I can't fathom how it looks. Control panel still looks the same, nothing really different. There are a couple new icons for control panel. Again, it's just a couple of some new things, nothing big major changes, but it just looks really aesthetically pleasing. I cannot say that enough. But it just reminds me of like Windows 1, Windows 2, Windows 3 builds, where a lot of the features that were in those builds, we still see a lot of them today. The birth of some of the programs that are iconic for Windows, it's still here. It's amazing, and I never get used to them. I've never, ever, I can't even have words to express that. I can't fathom how amazing it is seeing like these old features appearing in the new operating systems. Here, I love the little new startup screen. It looks so cool. I kind of wish they kind of kept that kind of little style. It has a little animation of the Windows logo, and then it just jumps down at you. It looks really great. It would have been really cool if they kept that, but unfortunately, they didn't.
No worries. We still have our traditional games. You can see I'm going to go for another round of pinball because I'm a nerd and I have nothing better to do when I record these videos. But really, guys, that's really about it. I've got nothing else for you. Just some aesthetic changes. And that's why I combine these two builds, because there's not too much to do and they don't really deserve their separate videos. They deserve to be all in one, to be jam-packed and to kind of make this series a little shorter for you guys and to streamline it. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate you guys so much. Click the links down below. You guys can go ahead and see where my sources are, where I get all this information. Go to WinWorld PC so you guys can get some of these builds and try them out yourself. I use VMware and I use compatibility mode for VMware 7. Windows VMware Station 7. That's it. Please rate, comment, and subscribe. Hit the like button and hit the bell icon to get notifications, and join the Discord server so you can be with me and my fans. Virus Litterable, signing off.